Hey everyone and welcome. Today I am very excited, and I am excited because I am bringing you a review of the Bandai model kit of Luke Skywalker in the Stormtrooper disguise. This is a kit that I've been waiting to get in my hands ever since Bandai and has been mentioning that they actually will be bringing this out into the States through the distribution of Bluefin. It is really great to have these kind of figures available for us in the States because were originally only available in Japan and elsewhere, and the cost of it was much more than we wanted to pay. But now, since they are getting into stores, they are much more affordable and much more great, and it's a great build and fun. Now, along the way, as you can see, this is the similar thing that we have gotten before with other Stormtrooper figures, where it has a lot of the nice box art here, and then you have a nice box art right here of Luke Skywalker. It's really cool box art that I really think is amazing. And along right here you have the little panel that says the new technology Traxial Jet Finish, which is what they're using on these new figures to get the much more lifelike appearance of the actual actor of Mark Hamill in his Stormtrooper outfit. So it's really awesome just to see that. On the bottom here you can see a lot of the photos from the movie when you have Luke Skywalker in this outfit, and then you see the model already built and displayed in different modes and what he comes with. And one of the really cool things that he does come with is that he comes with his hip grappling hook from the movie. So instead of having something different in the back from a regular Stormtrooper, you have this little piece right here that's going to be on the back of his disguise. Now when you open the box, you end up getting the same exact amount of sprues that you do when you get the regular Stormtrooper model kit. And as you can see, these are the ones, and I've already pre-built the figure. And what also comes with this kit is that you have an extra sprue here, which allows you to have these side pieces or the hip pieces for the figure, so that it makes him look a little bit shorter. And he also comes with this neck collar for the face, and the face actually does come in these pre-packaged places, as you can see right here. And I will show you exactly how they come together. And as you can see, there's the sprue kit with the hair, and then there's the ones with the skin color tone, which will be put together to create his head. And you also get this nice little manual on how to build the model kit. So you can see it's really nice. The way it's actually put together, it's really cool, and it actually tells you what pieces will not be used from this kit. And it tells you step-by-step process of how to put it together. And I gotta tell you, it's very easy. Once you actually have built one of the kits, especially the Stormtrooper, everything comes so much easier. But as you can see right here, really nice photos of everything from this kit. Now first off, I want to actually show you the face print that was used for this model kit on the sprue, and it looks really good. I'm not sure if the camera is capturing all of the details in there. As you can see, it looks really nice. It's kind of hard to see it without the entirety of his hair in place, but I can tell you right now from up close, it looks really nice. It's not as glossy as I thought it was going to be, but either way, it just looks so cool. So let's actually put this guy together and see how he looks. I don't know why, but when I look at this sprue with the face on it, I keep thinking of RoboCop. And here we have the Bandai kit completely built, and as you can see, Luke looks amazing. I have no idea how they did this, but it's such an amazing figure. I mean, I've always liked the model kits, especially the Stormtrooper one, but this just takes the cake in terms of how they recreated the costume to make it look more shorter for Luke, and as you can see, it just looks great. Now, I didn't finish putting the decals on the helmet because I was pressed for time and I just really wanted to complete this guy. But the helmet on him is the same thing that from the regular Stormtrooper kit. But the new face print on this Bandai kit looks really great. So I'm going to actually take them off right now and you can get a better look at it. And if you look at the figure right now, I'm hoping you guys can see all the great details in him. It looks just like Luke Skywalker when he was young from the original Star Wars A New Hope. And it looks really well done. With the hair pieces now on, it just looks like really like Mark Hamill. And the only thing I really do have a gripe with is the fact that you kind of can see where the hair pieces come together. I mean, if you really look at it, you'll see it. But I mean, they did their best to hide it with the sculpt, so that way you can't really look at it too much. But overall, it looks really, really nice. I mean, profile-wise, it's great, and it's really cool. The articulation on Luke is actually pretty much the same as any other Stormtrooper one, but there are certain restrictions due to the fact that they made the suit much more smaller on him, or at least much more compact, because he doesn't fit in an actual Stormtrooper outfit. But in terms of articulation, he doesn't look up that much. It's really, really sad. But he can look a bit down. He can turn left and right. He doesn't have that much pivot on his head, but it's pretty nice. I mean, everything else here is the same as any other figure before. And he can move around. He can go back and stuff. The only thing he can't do as well as the original Stormtrooper one is kicking forward is a little bit less articulation or range. He can only, if you press go down, he can only go this far up. I think the original Stormtrooper one went a little bit higher, but that's all he can do. Everything else he can still do similar. The only problem I also had was that I don't know if it's my model kit or maybe I just didn't do this correctly, because the ankle pivot on this guy is really rough to move. It's not moving as well as I want it to, and it kind of feels like it's gonna break as I probably pushed it in too much. But other than that, it looks pretty good and it stands really well on its own. The accessories that comes with this model kit is very similar to that came with the regular Stormtrooper figure. You have the long blaster right here, the long rifle that comes with it. He has his regular blaster in his hand, which he often uses in the movie, and he also comes with the smaller pistol right here that is already on his holster. But the one thing that does come differently is he has this little piece right here in the back. I'm hoping you guys can see it. I also did not paint this, so I was actually more excited about building it and actually showing you guys this figure before I can actually finish painting it. But this right here is the grappling hook, which he uses when he and Leia swing across this I can't even figure out I can't remember what it was at the top of my head, but they swing across this missing bridge area where they need to get away from the Stormtroopers. And so it's really cool that they comes with it, so it distinguishes differently how he is different from every other figure, because he is the only one that comes with this, which is really cool. So any other things he does come with is his regular hands. He's got the pointy hand, he's got the open right hand and open left hand. He comes with one fist on the right hand, and he comes with 2 trigger hands for each one. So let's do some comparisons with this figure with the other Bandai model kit of the Stormtrooper, and if we put him right here, I'm hoping you can see that Luke is a bit smaller right here. He doesn't look as tall as the regular size one, which I assume is the same size as the Han Solo figure in disguise, but you can see there is a major difference in terms of height. And I want to point out, if you look right here, the chest area, you can see that the chest plate does go lower than the irregular one does. And let me see, you see it goes much lower, so you can see how much shorter that gets there. And looking at the hip areas, you can see that the armor here doesn't go all the way up. It has about of a gap right here, compared to Luke, who basically his thigh armor goes all the way to the crotch armor. So that gives him a little bit more shorter status. In terms of the arms, I think his arms are pretty much the same length. Let me see. Yeah, they are the same length. The only problem is that it kind of does look like he might have a little bit, his arms might be a little bit too long for his actual body structure. But either way, I mean, this looks pretty cool. So he looks much more like the Stormtroopers. And just for fun, let me take off this head and put on the regular Stormtrooper head. And as you can see, he does look a little shorter with that helmet. And I don't think there's a difference in terms of how much space there is. But if you actually move his shoulders a little bit higher, it'll make him look like his whole outfit, it doesn't fit him correctly. Whereas this one, you can shift it up. But yeah, I mean, they look pretty good next to each other. And for some more comparisons, we have the Bandai SH Figure Arts Chewbacca from A New Hope, and you can see the height difference there. And I also have on the side, we have Han Solo, which you can see he's a bit taller than him, not by much, but he is a bit taller than him. So you can see that this actually will fit together in terms of displaying options. So if you want to put, of course, Luke with any other SH Figure Arts, which is made by the same company, Bandai, they should all work together. And the other one that I want to put together that I really think is important to put is I want to show you the differences between Luke and his SH Figure Arts counterpart from A New Hope. And he is slightly taller. The Bandai is slightly taller than the SH Figure Arts. And of course, it could all be said that perhaps when he puts the armor on, he does get a little bit taller, but he's still shorter than the average Stormtrooper. But I think overall you can see the difference there. It's pretty big and significant, but it's not a big deal because obviously when you put this guy next to any other figures, he's not really standing next to himself, so there's no way of saying, oh, this guy's shorter than he should be. But he will look well for displaying options and all that stuff. So that's a really, really cool looking display right there. And just because I want to try another one, I want to show you this Luke Bandai kit next to the SH Figure Arts Obi-Wan Kenobi. And as you can see, Luke is a bit taller than Obi-Wan, but they actually should be the same height. It's kind of a tough deal. Like I said, the armor or anything could probably make him look taller, but they still look well together because you can see right here, the paint wise, the SH Figure Arts uses something similar to that they use for this model kit, but I think it's almost spot on. It's getting close enough to actually be able to catch up to how the SH Figure Arts look, even though this still is a better articulated figure and the likeness is so much better. The model kit is a great alternative if you do not want to buy into the SH Figure Art line. But the fact that they actually are creating like this one is amazing. And just because we want to put her there, here is Leia Organa.
Too little short for a Stormtrooper? Huh?
This is just a great option right here. So this is just a cool Bandai kit that I think you guys should be able to look for and hopefully find. And since you guys have probably already stuck around to see this video, I'm actually going to treat you guys and I'm going to do a little bit of a custom paint on his hair. I want to improve his hair a little bit because I really don't like this plasticky look to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be first doing a brown wash on his hair, followed by a gold dry brush, so give it a little bit of those like gold highlights that he does have in the film. So what I'm going to be using first is I'm going to be using the Citadel shade Agrax Earth shade, and I'm going to just place that and do it all over his hair first. Now adding this on the hair, it's going to look a little slippery all over the place because there's nothing for this paint to hold on to, so you're just going to I'm just going to slightly put it on there and let it flow into the crevices and wait for it to dry. Hopefully then it'll just look a little bit nicer. But it's pretty much what we're going to do. You want to also try to avoid as much as you can painting that nice face. And as you can see, after adding one coat of brown wash, the hair actually looks a lot more nicer. You can see the depth in there. And what it also does is that it helps to cover the areas in which the pieces of hair put together. I'm not sure you can tell now where they're at. You might be able to tell it in person if you're up close to it, but overall it just looks a little bit nicer, a little bit nice all over around, and it creates a matte finish. The Citadel shade one creates a matte finish on there, so now it doesn't look as plasticky as before, but it does give you the highlights on the top areas, and then the inside the crevices are darker, which is what his hair actually is, a much more of a darker dirty blonde hairstyle. But now that we have this dried out, the next step that I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of a dry brush of gold on his hair, just to give him those little bit of highlights. Not too much, but enough that when the light hits it, it does shine a bit. And what I'm going to be using for this is I'm going to be using the Citadel Golden Griffin dry brush paint. And I'm just going to easily put some of this on a brush and dry it off on a piece of paper, and then just slightly go over the hair just to give it that little golden touch. Now here I have my brush, and I've already wiped off some excess paint from my brush after using it, and we're gonna slowly but surely put it on the figure. Now it's always important to go slightly little by little, because I never know if I want too much or too little, but you just want to slightly do it and just go around and adding it. So apologize if you can't see as much, or if the camera goes out of focus. I am doing my best to not overdo this and not paint wrong, but I am adding. I'm sure you can see some of the gold that's actually sticking out a little bit, and adding some to the back. Just want to slightly do it, because Luke Skywalker does have dirty blonde hair, but it does highlight a little bit here and there. So doing this helps a lot to create a much more accurate looking figure. Now adding a little bit of brown wash on the hair, and then followed by a little bit of a dry brush with gold on his hair, and yes, you can see Luke Skywalker's hair looks much more accurate to that of the film in A New Hope. I think this looks really great. It allows this figure to look more accurate to the movie. And the little gold highlights, I'm hoping you can see now on this camera, just stick out a little bit. It's not overwhelming to a point where it feels like it's over the top like the SH Figure Arts was with the gold. But this just allows it to look like a little bit more highlightish, and it just looks really cool. I think overall Luke looks amazing, and I really think this is my favorite figure of Luke in the Stormtrooper outfit. Black Series came out with him, but it wasn't as good as this. And just looking at him, it looks so cool. Really happy with the overall results of this, and I'm hoping that this is actually something you guys might do to your figure if you end up getting it in the future. So overall, guys, I gotta tell you, this is an amazing figure model kit that you have to find. If you're able to find him, please pick him up, because you will not regret it. I mean, the fact that you just have him and built in the whole costume fits just like the way it's supposed to for him is just a great thing to have. I have to tell you though, this thing is gonna fly off the shelves as soon as they pop up, so make sure you check your local hobby shops, or if not, like if you find a Hobby Lobby near you, check it in there and or ask around. They should be receiving them, because I did not know they were gonna get them until I just accidentally just found it there laying on the side. So overall, this is just a great thing to have next to my other figures. As you can see, it's amazing. So I want to say thank you guys for checking this video out. I hope it was informative. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the video below. If you like it, again, press the like button, subscribe, and thanks a lot, man. See you guys later.